It was an inspiring afternoon at the Caribbean Heritage Celebration as the Bronx Borough President honored 3 members of the community in health, education, and social services at the Bronx Museum of Art.
Welcome, brethren. My name is Michael Blake, young man from the Bronx, but much respect, blessings to everyone, to the brethren, to the family, much love, much respect. Celebration for Sean Francois, celebration for Una Clark. Everyone, big up all things for Jamaica, TNT, everyone from the Caribbean, blessed, all right?
There was music, food, and celebrating achievements at the annual Caribbean Heritage Celebration sponsored by the Borough President's Office.
Because this is the way that we get to say thank you to different communities, in this case the West Indian community, the Caribbean community, but also to bring people together as Bronxites, to celebrate our diversity together, to have people who don't necessarily come from that community come and get to know more about the traditions, the culture, and this is what makes us better. We, after all, with all the great things that are happening in our borough, our greatest asset are the people who live here.
This year, News 12's Rena Roy, a Bronx transplant with Indian and Caribbean roots, hosted the event honoring 3 other notable community members. She explained why she feels connected to the Bronx.
A lot of my friends and their families looked a certain way, sounded a certain way. My parents didn't. So to be here in the Bronx and to hear the different accents and see the different cultures is just amazing.
The first honoree of the afternoon was former New York City Councilwoman Una Clark, a Jamaican immigrant and educator who was the first Caribbean-born woman elected to the New York City legislature. She received the prestigious 2001 Ellis Island Medal of Honor and was recently appointed by Mayor de Blasio to the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York.
Every time as a messenger, and it wasn't just me, it was other messengers, Una Clark would not only take the time to say thank you, but the time to mentor so many of us, the time to ask us, are you continuing your education? What's going on in your life? What is it that I can do to be helpful? If you're gonna go into and apply to this college, if you need a reference letter, let me know. And you better get to school and you better get your college degree, at least she told me, or I'm gonna kick your butt.
I must confess his daddy and I served in the city council together, and I gave him some rough days, some rough and tumble. Council member, shut right now. It's my time to talk. So I have both father and son that I can take some credit for helping to discipline them, to make sure that they turn out to be the best that they can be. Thank you very much.
Miss Glynis Simmons, the Assistant Director of the Women's Care, Prevention, and Support Services of the Gay Men's Health Crisis in the Bronx, was honored for her dedication and service to the health of the Bronx community. She spoke about how her Caribbean heritage has influenced her.
Well, the discipline that I've gotten from my parents and my upbringing, the strong upbringing, and my mother always telling me that I have to do something.
Sean D. Francois I, president of Local 372, was recognized for his drive and leadership in the union and his work within the New York City Department of Education.
Well, you know, it's just like I said, coming from the Caribbean world, coming from a third world country, whereas things are so beneath each other, to come to a country where there's so much opportunity, I think that's in itself a good thing. Coming from parents that struggled and worked their way to go to school and become a pillar in society, I think that's a plus. So that I just want that to be a message to everybody that you can make it, you can do it. There's no excuse why you can't do what you do in this country.
Also on hand to pay homage to the honorees and the Caribbean community were Councilwoman Vanessa Gibson, herself of Trinidadian descent, and Assemblyman Michael Blake, the son of Jamaican immigrants.
I think recognizing my father's family is from Trinidad and recognizing that, you know, I'm a part of a family of immigrants gives me a lot more commitment to diversity. It allows me to recognize that this is a country built on the backs of immigrant families that came to this country with the opportunity of the American dream.
Often when we talk about heritage, we make it seem like it's yesteryear. You know, heritage is happening every single day. And for those of us that are here in the Bronx, you can appreciate the Caribbean community. This is how we build. This is how we do something special. So for the young people, they get to see the heroes that are doing things right now in the Caribbean community. You know, it's not just about making heritage in June. We're making Caribbean history every single day.
Reporting for BronxNet, I'm Cristina Pagan.